And now we enter the big story of the morning. Jamaica's political landscape is heating up as the country prepares for general elections this year. The ruling Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, faces growing opposition from the People's National Party, the PNP. Recent polls show the PNP leading the JLP with key issues like crime, corruption, and economic inequality dominating the electoral landscape. 4 constituencies: St. Elizabeth Southwestern, St. Mary Western, St. James West Central, and St. Andrew East Rural, are considered crucial in determining the election's outcome. We wanted this morning to get some help to sort of dissect the poll results and to get some comments on the whole atmosphere right now here in Jamaica politically. And so we're joined by none other than political commentator Kevin O'Brien Chang. Good morning, Kevin. How are you doing today?
Richie, everything is good?
Everything is good my way. How about you? Oh, what happened there? Let me do a quick redial. Not sure what happened. All right, Kevin, you might be listening, and you're going to hear from me in a matter of seconds, okay? Just doing a quick redial, and I think I have now reconnected. Kevin, are you there?
Okay.
All right, you hear me now, right?
Yes, man.
All right, wonderful. Not sure what happened a while ago. Welcome, and thank you for joining me, all right? Now,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Now, Kevin, based on these poll results, are they showing what you're picking up when you travel across the island of Jamaica?
Well, yes, in a way. The Don Anderson has the PNP ahead by 3 points, and the Blue Dot poll last month had the JLP ahead by 4 points. So it's pretty much a dead heat, close election. That's how I interpret it. You know, I look at one poll with 3 points ahead, the other one 4 points ahead. I average them, it's a half a point difference. So I do believe that it's going to be a close election. That's what I think, based on the polls and you hear the different sentiments out there. So it's looking close to me. That's my interpretation.
And I mean, like very, very close because I mean, especially I think you did some analysis on the 2 poll results, and that brought it to my attention very clearly how close it really seemed to be.
And even Don Anderson poll, he said it's a statistical dead heat.
Yes,
that was the Gleaner, the headline there. You know, it's within when you look at the margin of error, a statistical dead heat. So, yeah, it looks like everything to play for, as they say.
What are some of the strategies that you believe the JLP and the PNP can employ in the, I guess, limited time? Although we don't know the date, but it is expected that elections will be by September. What are some of the strategies you think they can employ to increase, voter engagement and support at the elections?
Well, personally, what I think both parties, the issues for them, the JLP has a pretty good track record. Murders are down, the lowest murder rate in 30 years, lowest ever unemployment rate, lowest ever poverty rate. Against that is the third term syndrome. Historically, if you look at Jamaica, when a party is going for a third term, the vote tends to fall a lot from the last election. I guess Jamaicans just feel they want a new face, or they want something fresh, and so that's what the JLP is battling: the third term syndrome versus their good record. The PNP now, let's be honest, most times electorates vote out governments. The opposition, you don't know much about them. They promise and all that, but if I like the government, I keep them. If I want a change, I boot them. So I think it's the JLP has to figure some way to counter the third term fatigue. In my view, they're still not doing enough to issue the positivity there. They know it, but they keep talking a lot of PNP says this and they keep countering instead of trumpeting their record, low crime, low unemployment, low poverty rate. They should be saying it over and over again. There's a old political adage. You say it again and again and again, and again and again and again, and again and again and again. And just when you get sick and tired of saying it, the person you want to hear it hears it for the first time.
Yes.
Most times, people don't follow politics closely. You'll be busy working, you have children, you have your partner, your problems, man or woman business. So people's time is taken up living. Politics is very low on the radar for most people. And so they don't know a lot. What they learn is bits and pieces. And the political, if you're a party, your message, you have to keep repeating it over and over. The PNP is actually good at that, but not the JLP. And so that's one of the problems. The other thing with the JLP, I've seen a lot of underholdness over and over. Yeah, he's popular, but I kind of tired of seeing the man's face. Where is the team? Where are his, the people around him? I mean, no matter how good the captain is, you can't win without a team. Mm-hmm. Right? So I think the JLP underholdness, yeah, you're popular, but you should talk more about your team, show your team. And the third thing for the JLP, their base, all the polls show they are very strong with young people and with women. So their base is young women. They should be reminding people that they have the most female MPs of any parliament in history, of any government in history. They have more females. In my view, they should be reminding people of that. It's a fact, but again, people don't follow politics much. So most Jamaicans are probably not even aware of it. All right, so those are the three things for the JLP. Mm-hmm. The PNP, put forward some credible stuff. They're doing a lot of attacking. I haven't seen really any credible policies that they're putting forward, really. Well, if you get into power, what are you going to do? We have a lot of bits and pieces, but nothing coherent. I don't see any manifesto. The JLP doesn't need a manifesto. Their manifesto is what they have done. Their government, their record in government. Is it good or is it bad? That's the manifesto. An opposition should have a manifesto showing if we get into government, what we will do. Mark Golding, I think he should speak more about his positives. He attacks a lot, but he has a lot of positives. His father was virtually a saint, in the 50s with the polio. His father helped so many people cure them, and even the ones who suffered polio, they had rehabilitation at Mona. He should remind people why I'm in politics. I want to help like my father did. And then he has a very good out of many story. He's a white man, pure white, British Jewish. He has a black wife. The other thing on Sunday, he was saying, my son, Sandra, 35 years are together. Mm-hmm. Say more of that to the public. Stress your positives. How, you are serving the country because of your father, and also out of many. He's a wonderful example of out of many. And what's striking about Golding when I take polls, it's always struck me, as how do you think of Andrew Holness, what do you think of Golding? A lot of people don't like his fake patois, but not a soul of remembrance his color. It's remarkable that nobody says the white man there never come across that, but they don't like his fake patois. Yeah, he talks like a regular Jamaican, but when he started exaggerated, how them stay this and that, people say, but that's not you, Mark. Be who you are. So that's the feedback I get, and that's my recommendation for the PNP. Get a manifesto with some policies. Mr. Golding should talk more positive about himself, sell himself more than always attacking. So those are my recipes for both of them. No,
you made some strong points there. But I want to focus a little bit more on the economic policies and what might be appealing to the voting public. What are some of these policies that should be trumpeted by both of these political parties that could impact the outcome of the elections?
Well, in the past elections, Richie, people say, we want jobs, we want jobs. I remember 2007, that was the JLP's main campaign. That had a ton of political ads, jobs, jobs, jobs. Well, look at this underholdness regime. When they came to power, it was 13.5% unemployment. Now it is 3.7%, the lowest in the history of Jamaica, the lowest in the English-speaking world. And yet a lot of people are still not aware because, as I say, people don't pay much attention to politics. You have a message, you got to repeat it over and over and over. And the JLP is weak on that. I'm saying it constantly. And always been weak. The PNP will sit on a message forever. Time come, time come, time come. Till people start repeating it. The JLP should be said, low crime, low unemployment, low poverty. Over and over they should be talking about those things.
I mentioned in the intro that there are some key constituencies that could shape the result of the elections, Kevin. Do you agree with those constituencies, or do you have a different set of constituencies that you believe are close and could determine the outcome of the elections?
I believe a rising tide lifts all boats, and a sinking sea, all boats go down too. I think the national is much bigger than a few constituencies. The national picture is what determines 80% of the vote, in my view. If the party starts doing well, you get a lot of surprises where you win places you didn't expect to win. The party starts doing badly, you lose places you didn't expect to lose. I remember 2011 when the JLP did a lot less well than people expected, and all of a sudden you saw people like Chris Tufton losing when he had a big lead, Mm-hmm. So the constituencies, yes, they're important to an extent, but I think they still believe the national picture is what determines the thing about the parties and the leader to a less extent. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what I believe.
If you will, elaborate somewhat on the government's approach to crime and corruption, and let me understand from you how you think that this might influence voter decisions.
Corruption is a non-issue. In fact, the Don Anderson poll showed it. 25% of the think the JLP is worse, 25% of the PNP is worse. We both know our guys, they're not the most corrupt in the world, but they're not the most honest in the world either. A certain amount of corruption is expected. If you don't thief too much, we don't worry about you. I don't think it's a big issue.
Okay.
And the polls show it. Crime now is a massive issue. For donkey years, it's been the biggest issue to Jamaicans. Now we have a 44% decrease this year. We're looking at under 700 murders for the first time in 30 years. Yes, the JLP knows it, and people, informed people know it. Maybe 50% of Jamaicans know it, I would say. But maybe 50% don't. And they should be saying it over and over again. We have brought crime down. For years you've wanted it down. We have done it. We have invested, and I say it sometimes, We've invested in the police. We have trained the police better. We're giving them the equipment. We have called the states of emergencies that got the gang leaders behind bars. Trumpet what they did over and over and over. But again, the JLP has this habit. They say it once or twice. Oh, everybody know it, man, and move on. And start fighting with PNP about PNP said this and PNP said that. Cas, which nobody cares about except the politicians.
Yeah. Now, our attention will now move to the whole matter of whether or not you believe the PNP can maintain the lead that they currently have. It's based on the polls. I'm looking at the most recent one here from Don Anderson.
Well, as I'm saying, Don Anderson himself said it's a statistical dead heat. It's no big sure lead.
Okay.
And the Blue Dot had the JLP ahead. So I don't think either party can be confident right now that they feel I'm going to win. I think both are quite uncertain. And you don't hear any big talk from both parties about these polls. You didn't hear any of them come out and said, yes, we're sure to win. The PNP a few weeks ago, they were call it, undercall it. I don't hear that much anymore. I think both of them know it's a dogfight. They're very close. And I don't think either of them can feel very confident right now. That is just my feeling about it.
So you believe the swing voters will play a very important role in this election then?
Yes. Well, look at it, Richie. Since 1962, Jamaica's had 16 elections, right? 8, the incumbent has won. 8, the incumbent has lost. So it has to be, you have your hardcore PNP, you have your hardcore JLP. It has to be the undecided swing voters who determines these shifts. So yes, the swing voters are there. They're not like me. I'm not a hardcore PNP or hardcore JLP. I'm looking and said, okay, as a responsible citizen, I'm going to vote. Who should I vote for? Who has given me reasons to vote? And generally, government, the government has given me reasons to vote for them or to vote against them. That is how it is. And as I said, the JLP's situation, in my view, they have an excellent record. I don't think any government has ever had so much positives to run on. But there's a third-term syndrome. Boy, tired of them people. I want a change. And the only say is a good man, but I'm tired of him. Want a fresh face. Want fresh faces. I think that's, in my view, who knows? But that's why I think the two factors there are contending.
Mm-hmm.
Good record versus time for a change.
Third term syndrome. My final question to you, Kevin, and it's not something that I hear being discussed a lot, but I want to ask you, what do you see as the potential implications of the election outcome for Jamaica's governance and stability, particularly if there's a change in government?
Well, Rishi, since 1962, Jamaica has been one of the most stable democracies in the world. We've had no coups, no assassinations, no revolts, no massive riots. We've changed every election. It's been peaceful. We have a change. Nobody protests. Look at America. Remember a couple of years ago, massive demonstration at the Capitol Hill. How many people died in that? Never seen anything like that in Jamaica. I believe in the wisdom of the Jamaican people. However, I don't think they've ever voted wrong. Whoever they choose is the best thing for them and for the country. So I'm not worried about any upheavals or anything like that. The Jamaican people in their wisdom will decide who is the better party to rule them. And we all accept the voice of the people. That's how I think. That's why our system has lasted without any interruption for so long. No great upheavals we've had.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, I want to thank you for your time and your thoughts this morning. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks, and have a good day.